Good day and welcome to a very exciting video for me because today we are going to make 3 different kinds of soaps. We're going to use tallow, beef tallow, sheep tallow and lard as well. Just plain single oil or single fat soap. So we're going to be able to compare them at the end of the day. So I don't really have an idea where we're going with this. I've got everything set out here. So I've got 3 containers. I am going to use milk cartons because I do not have 3 different soap molds that's the same size and same shape. So I decided this is going to work the best. So I'm going to try my best to make each batch at the same temperature. All of them got the recipe is the same. The lye is a little bit different between the different batches because obviously the saponification values are different for each one of them, but that's about it. So I'm just going to make soap. I'm going to make 3 batches of soap. We're going to cut them. I'm going to take notes on everything, how fast they trace, what they smell like, when I just pour them, what temperature I've poured them at, and then when I have to unmold them, how quickly can I unmold them, what they smell like then. Cut them and then let them cure, and then I will be back at you guys after the cure, and we're going to test them and see regarding lather and creaminess and so on, how they're different, how do they smell after a cure, and then decide which one of them are maybe the best or maybe all of them, I don't know. So then you can make an informed choice and you can decide between them which you would like to use and which not, because all of them got different textures, they've got different melting points and so on, so it's actually quite different. So let's just dive in and see where we're going to go with this. Okay, I think the first one that I'm going to do is the lard, because this one is going to melt very quickly, so I can get them quicker and faster through here, and then I'm going to move over to the beef tallow, and then I will move over to the sheep tallow here. So let me just see what I've got in the screen here. I think I've got everything. It's a new camera and a new day and a new everything. Okay, and it's good that I checked because I did not press the start button on that side. So I pointed to something that you could not see. Anyhow, okay, so let's see. I think let's take this one first and just add it to the pot. I will have to clean everything after each batch because I don't have 3 different pots and 3 stoves to start and do everything at the same time. And it's in any way not a good idea for me to do 3 things at once. So it's better to do just one at a time. Okay, there we go. I pre-measured everything except for the lye. And so the water and the oils or the fats are already measured. I think I've got everything except microscopic amounts all in there. So let's just heat them up a bit. The lowest setting we've got there. Oops. Okay. What have I done with my gloves? There we go. Got them here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a hair net as well. Just because everything is moving all over the place here. And it's summertime. I think I'm overheating. I'm thinking about cutting my hair. So next time you see me, I might look a little bit different. I don't know. But it feels like it's time for the change. I just wanted to say as well, this was sponsored fat. Maureen Swift sponsored me with some fat. So thank you, Maureen. I will leave her this leave a description. I don't even know what Maureen looks like, but anyhow, I will leave her contact details in the description box if you would like to contact her and buy from her. I'm very happy. She's actually one of my suppliers that just reached out to me. So I've been using her beef tallow for quite some time. sheep tallow. First time I'm going to make soap with it. The lard was something that I bought myself because I wanted to actually just compare that as well. So okay, let's see. For the lard we are going to use 134 grams. No, I'm lying. That is the liquid required, 67 grams. We'll add a tiny little bit more. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me see if I am zoomed in here. Maybe I must zoom in a little bit more. Oh, I can change this over to this side so I can see what's going on here. Excellent. I like this. Okay, let's just move it a little bit to this side. Okay, so I do have already the water here. I'm just going to add the sodium hydroxide to the water and stand the arm lengths back and just stir it in. Okay, there we go. And then these guys are already melted down and almost a bit too warm, but they are at 80 degrees Celsius. Let me just move things around like this. If I put this one there, then you can see it. Okay, so there's 80 degrees Celsius there, and my lye solution is 89 and about 85. So we're going to let them just cool. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them cool to 60 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to try to make all of them at 60 degrees. Now the reason why I like 60 degrees Celsius, that seemed to be my sweet spot for tallow soap. Tallow is very rich in stearic acid. I believe the sheep tallow as well. Okay, sorry. Beef tallow. When I talk about tallow, then I'm actually referring to beef tallow because that's what I used to work with. So beef tallow is quite rich in stearic acid. Let's just quickly see here. Stearic acid for beef tallow is 22% and stearic acid in sheep tallow is 13%. Let's see with the lard also 13%. So the lard and the sheep tallow seems to have the same amount of stearic acid in there. Now, the thing with stearic acid is they've got actually quite high melting point, around about 40-45 degrees Celsius. So if you make a tallow soap or a lard soap with a too low temperature, then although I think lard you can go lower, but with the tallow soaps, if you work at a too low temperature, then the stearic acid starts to actually cool down and solidify again before they start to saponify. And then you end up with a false trace. And it looks like millipop, what you call millipop in English, maize porridge, something like that. So then it looks crumbly, it's not smooth, it doesn't look like custard. So if you start to mix your stuff and it looks crumbly, look at your temperature because it might have been maybe a little bit too low. So I like to work around about 60 degrees Celsius because then I do know that all the stearic acid has been melted. I do have enough time to work with it, and it's not going to go into a false trace. It will most probably do a full gel to the end of the mold side. So we will rather just stay with that. I'm not going to change the temperature. 60 degrees is my sweet spot there. You might like to work with a little bit of a cooler recipe or a cooler temperature, or maybe a little bit warmer. Although more than 60. 60 is for me the upper range of soap making for cold process soap. I don't like to work any warmer than that. So I think that's going to be our aim here. Okay, and then we will come back after 6 weeks and we will have a proper comparison with everything. And yeah, and that will be it. So I will see you in a while. Okay, I'm back. We are at 60 degrees Celsius, 58 actually, so I'm a little bit under it because I was struggling with the cameras and so on. So I'm just going to pour these two together. You can't really see much here. So there's the lye water into the lard. So this is going to be the first one. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you properly what's going on here. And this is working the wrong way around. No, I'm not going to be able to show you on that camera. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mix everything and then I will let you guys know how it went. So I've marked all of my little containers properly. So I've got the lard one. I will not mix them up. So I will see you guys again later or maybe in 6 weeks time. Which is going to be 2 minutes on the video, but anyhow, I will see you guys later again. Okay, it's been 3 hours since we started, and the interesting thing is the lard that I started first is still actually quite soft. I will not be able to unmold it. Then the beef tallow is now on 2.5 hours. I believe it's hard enough to unmold. It is still warm. The beef tallow, it's 43.9 degrees Celsius. Okay, and the sheep tallow is now on 2 hours. The sheep tallow is now standing on 46.4 degrees Celsius. There we go. And those might also be ready to unmold. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to unmold them. Just to show you here on the camera, this is the beef tallow. The beef tallow, it's really hard. You can press on it very firmly. It went through full gel phase. The sheep tallow, 2 hours also. I can feel it's a little bit softer, but it is still really hard already. The lard, if I'm going to press too hard on it, it is still a little bit sticky and it makes an indentation. So the lard will not be able to unmold it at the moment. It actually still feels like lard on top. Very interesting. So okay, let's first try the beef one, because that was the one that I poured second. There we go, got that one. And first, let's see if we can get it out of the boat. Okay, I wonder if it's still sticky or not. Seems like this is going. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to cut it open on the side. I'm careful not to cut it all the way through because I don't want to cut lines in the soap. There we go. Oh, it's firm enough. The thing with tallow, beef tallow soap especially, I'm not sure about the sheep tallow, but I think the sheep will also be the same. You need to unmold and cut while it's still warm. The moment when it cools down, then it is like rock hard. You're not going to be able to cut it. It will splinter. Okay. I had 2 air bubbles in there. And now I wonder if the bottom is going to come off easily. there, getting there. Okay, and the first one is Unmold. It's the beef tallow. Okay, it is quite firm all the way through. There I can feel it's a little bit soft in the center. But we are going to go for the cutting anyway. Okay, so let's see for the first one. Okay. Got a nice gel ring in there. I decided I'm not going to insulate it or anything. I decided I'm going to keep it the way it is so that we can see exactly what's going on. And the second slice, this one is a little bit easier because it's still warmer on the inside. You can still see there's a gel ring as well. Tiny little bit on the outside, but I nearly had a full complete gel here. Okay, it's that one. Okay. Slight smell to it, but not really beefy. But we didn't really start with the extreme beefy smell. But I don't know if I'm going to show it here. Okay, focus camera. Okay, slight gel ring on the outside. Not much. Let me show you towards the bottom of the mold. There you can see it much better. I'm still struggling with the lighting here. You can see a little bit of larger gel ring there. Let's see on the camera. Yeah, you can see it much better. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slices of soap there. I'm just gonna take the beef tallow and place them on the recipe because then I know I'm not gonna mix them up. Okay, interesting thing. Now let's see the sheep tallow, which is standing on 2 hours now. So this is now 2 hours after pour. It's still warm to the touch. Okay. So could have left it maybe a little bit longer. I'm pulling some of it off now. It's starting to get later in the evening. I need to do other things. So the last little bit bottoms up, there we go, and it's out. So I've got a little bit of an indentation there. It's still soft enough to smooth it back down a little bit with my fingers. Okay, so let's see. This one also went through gel phase. You can see here at the corners here, slight bit that maybe didn't go all the way through. So let's first see. Okay, I'm gonna tip it over to that side. And slicing through easier than the beef tallow. There you can see the gel phase showing in there as well. There we go. I am still trying to figure out the lightning here, but you can see it went through a partial gel. Okay, there you can see it's still soft in the center, in the very center there. So if I leave this for another hour, I think it will also be much firmer, but you can cut it within 2 hours. There we go. You can see there's a slight little wet spot there in the middle. So this will actually harden up now very quickly after I've cut it. There's the last one. Okay, so basically it went through gel 80%, I think. This one is sheep tallow. I just want to put those there together. And then, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I will take a picture if I can't really show it properly here. But there is the beef tallow is a little bit more yellow and the other one a little bit more pinkish in color. There we go, it's a little bit better there. So this is the sheep tallow. It's got a little bit more of a creamy color. This one's got a very light yellow. I can't really see that, you pick it up on the screen there. And the lard is like in snowy white. But this one won't be able to, we can't unmold this yet. If I look at the fatty acid profile, I will most probably unmold this one tomorrow morning. I believe I might still be able to cut it there. Okay, so I will see you in a second. Which will be the next morning, and then we will unmold that one as well and cut it. Okay, apologies. I started opening it up and didn't realize I didn't press the button there. So it's halfway open already, the lard. This is now about, I think, 4 hours after pour. So it started to set up quite nicely. I made lard soap many moons ago. So I'm not exactly sure how hard it sets up. I don't really want to leave it until morning and then I can't cut it. Although for some reason I do think that lard soap does not set up as hard as tallow in the beginning. They take quite a bit longer. So let's see. There's still a little bit softness to it, but it's not really that squishy. It unmolds quite neatly. I think it can do with another hour or so, but we need sleep as well. So unfortunately for this little guy, I'm going to open it up now. There we go. It's a tiny bit sticky. Oh, especially here in the middle. I think it wanted to go through gel stage. Let's just try to twist it off and see how it's gonna go. There we go. A little bit of damage here at the back side, but not that much. For another 3 hours of sleep, I can deal with that. Okay, let's see. We're gonna cut it here. This side looks nice and smooth. I just want to smooth it down a little bit there. And I can actually, see, this is how you can jipper with soap. You can actually add little pieces in different places if you've got it at the right consistency. Okay, and here we go with the first cut. It's about the same as when I started cutting the sheep tallow one. Here we go. That's the first one. There goes number 2. Still nice and easy, although there is a little bit of resistance there. There's number 3. Oh, it actually tried to go through gel phase there. There's a slight bit in the middle. I realized it heated up a bit, but it didn't really get all the way where it should have been. There we go. The bottom side actually gelled a tiny little bit. This one, just going to smooth it there. There we go. Okay, so very interesting. This actually smells still like bacon, eh? Sheep tallow, can't really smell anything there. Beef tallow neither. So we'll see in the morning, but I will take pictures of them all so that, and just give you a run over of everything there. Okay, this is the beef, then we've got the sheep tallow, and we've got the lard. And the beef, a buttery yellow, the sheep tallow more like a cream color, and then the lard are brilliantly white. So now next up that we need to find out is how they perform when they cured a bit. Hi, and I'm back. It took me about 3 months, but I've made it. We did a lot of markets and so on, been a bit busy. Quite a few challenges regarding electricity and all those kinds of things here in South Africa. Still a challenge. I hear there's some weather rumbling on the outside. It is extremely hot. We're in the middle of a heat wave. It's 30 degrees Celsius in here in my room, where it's actually supposed to be cool and quite insulated and so on. So if I'm starting to sweat, it's not just menopause, not flushes, it's a heat wave on the outside as well. Okay, just quickly, we have made 3 different kinds of soaps. I'm going to start to just show you the different colors and so on. Now, this first one here is the beef tallow, and then we've got the sheep tallow and the lard. The lard is the lightest and the whitest. But since we started, since I've made it up to now, it started to discolor. It doesn't really show on the camera, but on the outside it's quite white, and the inside it starts to become a little bit more of a creamer color, but very, very little bit. Hardness, all 3 of them are really, really, really hard. You can't press a dent into it. It is like in rock hard. Interesting, the beef tallow started with, let me see if I can show it on the other camera. I'm going to put them down and do them one by one. On the beef tallow, there is a little bit of a, where is this thing focusing now? The gel ring has got a lighter, more Vaseline color on the outside. This is for the beef tallow. The sheep tallow is the light color on the outside and the more Vaseline color on the inside. So that was 2 really interesting things. Beef tallow, sheep tallow, and then the lard doesn't really show a gel ring, although it did go through gel slightly on the outside, but it's not really that significant. So that is regarding the color of the 3 of them. Hardness, they are all 3 extremely, extremely hard. We're going to do a lather test here and just see how they're going to feel. Zoom a bit out here, otherwise you're not going to be able to see anything. I'm even going to try a new angle on my camera here, so don't know if it's a good idea. That should have stayed an idea, but it is happening here. Okay, so we're going to start with the beef tallow. Beef tallow, just see, yeah, I'm in shot here. If I just wet it, it is actually quite slippery, and I already got a little bit of bubbles on here. So it's really hard as I am twisting it in my hands. The edges, I did actually plane them a bit, but I can feel they're actually quite sharp. So here we go. You can see there's a little bit of a creaminess there, but it's not really lathering per se. The more I work it, the more creamy. It's like a lotion that actually forms on your hands. So let me just try to work it up like this. Now I know the cleansing value for all of them are quite low. So this is just when you try to lather it up. It's not really making a huge amount of lather. It feels nice and creamy on your hands. So okay, so that was for the beef tallow. I am going to use a buff scrunchie after this, just to show you with a little bit more friction. Now this is the sheep tallow. Okay, wet it. It is less slippery. Oh, I've got a fly in here as well. Can you believe it? Irritating me. You like my tallow soap. It's not tallow anymore, it's soap. Okay, here comes the creaminess. So it takes a little bit longer to develop this lotion kind of thing on your skin. If I work it, it's as if it's making a little bit more bubbles. So it's more bubbly than with the beef tallow one. So the sheep tallow, it does contain a little bit more myristic acid. So there you see, we can actually get a bubble or 2 out of it. So sheep tallow, if you need a little bit more cleansing value, that is still low, but it's better than the beef tallow, then your sheep tallow would be it. Okay, and then we're going to go to the Lard. Now, Lard, fly away. Okay. Interesting, the Lard makes much more bubbles. There we go. And I must say, Lard feels to me very much like a Castilla soap on my skin. I don't think it's going to show on the camera very nicely, but the creaminess here is not as, it's more bubbly than with the other two. The other two is more like a lotion on your hands, and this one, it feels very nice, but it's got a little bit more bubbles to it than the first two. So the Lard definitely, and if you take a little bit of water, you can see we are working up a lather much more than with the other two. It's not a huge amount, but there's bubbles. At least there's bubbles. The other two don't have a lot of bubbles. Okay, let me just quickly put them in a line here and not mix them up because they look very similar. Now, regarding smell, the beef tallow, it smells like a laundry bar. It doesn't smell beefy to me, but there is definitely a faint fragrance there. It is not unpleasant at all, but it smells soapy. The sheep tallow is much less pronounced. So the thing is, I've got the fats from Maureen. So it's the same lady that rendered the sheep tallow and the beef tallow. The Lard I rendered myself. So the thing is, she uses most probably the same method to both of them, and the sheep it's a softer fragrance that you get from it, and it's a little bit, it's a different fragrance. It's very faintly, and I think that the fragrance that I'm looking for in the previous video with the creams and lotions, I said I can't pinpoint the smell of the raw sheep tallow. And somebody asked me, one of the subscribers, and I actually must go and check her up and see who was it, said maybe it is smelling like lanolin, and I do have lanolin, and I must say that is the fragrance I was looking for. So some people like lanolin, others don't. For me it's actually a nice smell, but this is very, very, very faintly lanolin, but it smells less than the beef tallow. And it's not as if the beef tallow smells a lot like something, but it's there. Then the Lard. The Lard is same as the beef tallow. It's a soapy smell, but you also have to really focus on it. It's not just there. It's not in your face at all. Okay, so that was now regarding the smell of them. Okay, let's see if we use a bath scrunchie here. I don't know what you call these things. I realized with this stuff, with tallow soaps and so on, this actually, when you work it with your hands, you can't see much, but use one of these things and things are happening. So let's see. Okay, so this one is the beef tallow. I'm just going to work a little bit in here, not too much, and then I'm just going to start to work it up. And there you get your lovely shaving foam. Okay, put it there. So this is a light foam. It is not as dense as shaving foam, but it is a lovely, lovely foam that you can lather up. Now a tip for you guys, if you want to clean your car seats, then you lather up this. You make dry foam, little brush, work it onto the car seat, and take a wet cloth, and then you wipe it off again. So it works excellently. Don't get a fright, because the first time I did it with my car, I realized, oops, I'm taking the color out of the fabric, and it was not the case. I think I need to get clean water here, because the next one, I've got so much foam in here that yeah, it's not going to be fair to the other two soaps if I don't change the water. I'm here in a moment. Okay, clean water, clean scrunchie. So let's move on over to the sheep tallow. So here we've got the sheep tallow soap, and again just gonna rub it a little bit here. It's as if I have to rub it a little bit more to get it going here for some reason. Okay, and we start to work this. It is slower to lather up, which is interesting because there's more myristic acid to it. But on the other hand, this is for me a much denser lather. It's more like the tins of shaving foam. If you rub it between your hands, it's like there's a cushioning effect here that is different from the other one, from the beef tallow. The beef tallow lathers quicker, but this is more like the tins of shaving foam. It's really this. It feels like a little cloud cushioning there. So sheep tallow, if you want to make shaving soap, sheep tallow might be the better one between the two of them. Although I've made shaving soaps with beef tallow for many years now. Okay, so the thing is that I'm new to sheep tallow. I think I'm going to try my shaving soap recipes with sheep tallow and see if this is not maybe my next favorite thing. Okay, just quick water for the Lord. Okay, and we are back for the last one. Okay, there is our Lard soap. Let's see. It's as if I get more soap on the scrunchie faster than the sheep tallow, around about the same as with the beef tallow. Work it a little bit. And again, lovely dense lather. With a few bigger bubbles in between. This is really interesting to me because I would have thought that the sheep tallow would have been the quickest to foam up and so on. But I must say, if I have to compare this one with the sheep tallow, it's not as bouncy, marshmallowy. It's a lovely foam, but it's a little bit bigger bubbles in here, so it's not as dense as with the sheep tallow. So the sheep tallow gives me the densest foam of them all, but it feels lovely on my skin. Can't complain about that at all. So this is also actually quite new to me. I haven't made lots of soap with lard before. Beef tallow, loads of beef tallow. So yeah, that's about it. I'm just going to quickly run through. I'm going to show this on the screen and I will leave links for, I don't know what I need leave links for. I will find stuff that I'm going to leave you in the description box. Anyhow, now I've got water all over it. I've actually got what do you call it? It's not a table. A table is when you put everything that. This is a graph. Okay, I've got two graphs for you. That first one, I'm going to put it on the screen. Okay, for the first one, I actually just compared the fatty acids. The first dark line is the beef tallow, then the middle line is the sheep tallow, and then the line on the right is your lard. So you can see with the lard, the oleic acid in lard is the highest amount. Then it is sheep tallow, and the lowest amount is in the beef tallow. Then the palmitic acid is the beef tallow the most, then the middle is the sheep tallow, and then the least is with the lard. Stearic acid, interesting, this makes sense. The sheep tallow's got the highest amount of stearic acid between the two of them, and that is why you get that more marshmallowy, dense foam in there. That makes a lot of sense. Then if you look at the linolenic acids, you will see that the lard has got the highest amount of it in there. And the interesting thing on it is, I do have little dreaded orange spots showing up on the lard. There's the other one. Also, there's a tiny spot there. And the last one there on the side. So I do have dreaded orange spots on the lard, which is the highest in the linoleic acid. The sheep tallow, none of it. there's not a single spot on there. The beef tallow, can't also find any of the beef tallow. So something to keep in mind if you use lard, use it maybe a little bit of a lower concentration, but it's there. Then if you look at the next graph that I'm going to put up, again beef first, then the sheep, and then the lard. And interesting, the hardness, the sheep tallow is the hardest of them all, then beef tallow, and then the lard is the softer one, although all three of them is like an extremely hard by the touch. Cleansing, again the sheep tallow more cleansing than the other two, so it outperformed there. Conditioning, the beef tallow and the sheep tallow is one-on-one the same. And then with the lard, it's got a much higher conditioning because of the linoleic, linolenic acids, and that is why it actually makes more, it produces orange spots easier. Okay, there we go. And then creaminess, lather stability. Lather stability, interesting, they say that the beef tallow's got the highest, although I think from experience what I feel here, it's going to be the sheep tallow. So numbers are an indication to stuff, but as you see now, I experience it a little bit differently here. And then the creaminess, yeah, again the lard, more creamy, more moisturizing and so on. So yeah, but that is the whole in and out of the three different kinds of soap, how they perform lathering and how they feel, what they smell like, what they look like and so on. So I hope this will help you in the future if you want to play around with different animal fats, and it makes it maybe easier to make a choice what you want to use or what you don't want to use. As I say, I'm definitely going to experiment more with the sheep tallow because it makes for me a denser lather, especially for my shaving soaps. So shaving soap, I think that one is going to be the new next number one favorite in my house. So yeah. Okay, that's it. You guys must keep well, stay safe. Thank you for the time that you've been spending with me. I really appreciate it. I think this is quite a long video. As I said, I've recorded the first part 3 months back, so I can't really remember. If I do duplicated something, I apologize in advance for that. But it is close to Christmas time. If I do not speak to you again in a video before Christmas, please stay safe, keep yourself, be careful on the roads if you travel somewhere, and enjoy the holiday season, spend it with family, build new memories. Okay, see you guys again. Bye.